So today I saw a Twitter feud, yeah, I was on Twitter, which perfectly identified to me why science skeptics look at people like myself who are pro-science and think that basically we're a bunch of highbrow snooty bastards. Renowned science educator Richard Dawkins wrote, "Science is not a social construct. Science's truths were true before there were societies, will still be true after all philosophers are dead, were true before any philosophers were born, were true before there were any minds, even trilobite or dinosaur minds, to notice them." What does this mean? Well, I don't think it takes a genius, that's why I'm here, to explain that this is a very simple statement about that old expression that's often used, or example that's used, that if all human life was eradicated from the surface of the planet and a new species evolved from the primordial soup, or even if it was evolving on a different planet right now, they wouldn't come up with our same literature, our same stories and religions exactly the same, but what they would come up with is some basic laws of science that are just undeniably true. However, we get replies like, "A truly laughable take that proves you've never seriously engaged even basic philosophy of science. Truths are not phenomena themselves, but accurate descriptions of phenomena and valid generalizations across phenomena. Truths cannot exist without a truth teller to speak them." And in this gem, science is a social construct. It is the human effort of learning about the universe. Reality was real before we started looking at it, but science isn't reality. Science is our method of understanding it. So Dawkins replies, "Obviously, by science's truths, I meant the truth about the real world that science aspires to find." Basically saying, as in the last sentence, my point was only that there's such a thing as objective reality denied by postmodern pseuds. Again, I don't think it takes a genius to work out that what Dawkins is saying here is that science does present important facts, and by getting into mystical territories and sometimes convoluting things, we often miss the important things. You look at climate change, you look at all of these things that often get pushed aside as scientific theories and therefore talked down about. We need to accept that certain things are provable to the point where they are just things that we should work on. But that doesn't stop us getting replies like, "I think you're still making a category mistake. There may be objective realities, but we don't have direct access to them, and our models of reality are tenuous and inferential," something Eddington captured in his lecture. And I still think you're missing the point. If I take this bottle, do I know that this bottle exists? I can argue on some quantum level that this bottle is not really here. Maybe I'm not here. My perception of it through consciousness is a very complicated thing to judge. However, I know that if I let go of this, it will drop. I think that's something we can all agree on, and we can extend that to other things slightly outside of that, like climate change, like evolution. It's pretty obvious that these people who are looking for all of these tiny little nitpicks are doing nothing more than nitpicking semantics. And this is where science comes into a trouble zone. Do they think that Dawkins doesn't understand these concepts they're talking about? Do they think that he refutes them? Or do they think that maybe he just worded something which was a bit general that could be nitpicked out of, and so many people in that rush to prove their scientific knowledge, to show that they have the ability to question everything, decided to question something that really didn't need to be questioned? By taking the simple comment of a science educator who tries to get through to a wide audience and breaking it into something much more complex and pulling it apart, all they've basically done is shown that same scientific snobbery that people like ourselves regularly get accused of. Of course, we should question scientific discoveries. That's the whole point of science. You question it, you test things, you try to make them better through that process. But this is a tweet. This is a tweet that clearly is not supposed to be viewed in this kind of complexity, and Dawkins' reply proves that. So why is everyone so much on it? Simply because that's what social media is. It's a place for people to feel relevant, to feel smart, by saying stuff that gets a lot of likes. And I think there's plenty of people out there who are genuinely love science education, who can look at the tweet that he left and see that it's pretty clear what he means. Just those are my thoughts for today. Love science, love inquiry, don't love Twitter.